Assalamu alayk ya Aba Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. In the previous episode we discussed that based on the Ziyara Waris, the beginning of the Karbala starts with the beginning of the history, beginning of the human being. Today in this episode I would like to discuss that not only the beginning of the Karbala is not limited in the land of the Karbala, but it dates back to the beginning of the humanity and beginning of the history, but also it never ends, it never finishes on the land of Karbala. But the message of Karbala and the event of Karbala continues till to the end of the history of the humanity. When we study the philosophy beyond what happened on the day of the Ashura, we see that Imam Hussein alayhi salam tries to make this event continuous. That's why we see in the seerah of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they try to make the Karbala alive. We see that we had many events during the history. But why Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam encouraged the believers and mu'mineen to go to the Karbala? Why Imam al-Askari alayhi salam says that one of the signs of the mu'min and believer is that to make the ziyarah of Arba'in, to go to the ziyarah of the Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. We see that all a'immas and all the believers, they try to attach the heart of the believers to the heartland of the Karbala. The reason is that they try to make it alive. So we see that that's motto, that famous hadith, whether to be authentic or not, because according to some research, maybe it is not authentic. But by the way, we see that it is abstracted from the teachings of the Karbala, that every land is Karbala and every day is Ashura, as well as it is narrated from Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam. Here I'm not talking about the authenticity of this hadith. I'm saying that when we see what happened on the day of the Karbala, they try to make it continuous. That's why Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, one of his very desire of him, one of very concern of him is the Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. In next session I will discuss that how connection and relationship is between the Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam and Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, and it elaborates that the event of Karbala is very connected with the events in the future, with the event of the Dhuhur and the arrival of the Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam. So Karbala is not a project, is not an isolated event within the history, but also it is a process, starts from the beginning of the history and continues to the end of the history. So Karbala is battlefield between righteous and falsehood, between justice and injustice. But it is not only in the land of the Nineveh in Iraq, took place in the 60s, but also even in today in our daily life, we are in battlefield facing the Karbala, whether we have to choose that, whether to stay with the Imam Hussein alayhi salam side or to stand with the injustice community. We have to select whether to stay with the troops of Imam Hussein alayhi salam or the troops of the Yazid, because Karbala never ends on the day of the Ashura and on the land of the Karbala. أعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصاب الحسين عليه السلام.